please like and subscribe. Alright, boy, this really looks Billy-ish. Sorry about it, white trash. Okay, so I'm going to talk about fetal alcohol syndrome. I do these videos. I'm not a professional, obviously, but I do these videos with the really pure intent that a lot of us are hurt in these worlds, and we need to learn to be more responsible with each other. Right off the rip, I'm going to say this. Thank you to so many people. My goodness, thank you. I apologize. I just watched my video, because I'll watch it as soon as I do. I got beat by 3 people. Thank you. I've gotten the nicest comments. I don't really I don't really talk to anybody, and I live in a very small world, and I mention like bad things and bad comments, and I should have mentioned you. I don't like the way I talked about the fetal alcohol syndrome. When I watched it, I said, damn it, like, but I also mentioned, like, these terrible comments I got, and I didn't mention you, the person, you give me nice comments, and you tell me really interesting things about your lives, and you care. You're the person I care about, not them baloney heads. There was multiple balloonies involved. There was Oscar Mayer Festival up in this, but, you know, I just want to thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you. You make me happy, and I could watch. I'd rather read those comments over and over, and I do. I like them. Sometimes I'll respond and I'll go, oh, I wish I put that in there. You'll see it a little bit. So thank you. I didn't mean to be so negative. I really appreciate people who care about these stories and care about me, and I care about you, and thank you so much. My daughter won't watch the murder ones, so I've been a little freer with the stories of when she was, when my children were a little younger with their dad. I don't want to say anything bad about him. I don't. Dad's father of my children. I don't want to say anything bad about him, but at the same time, I'm like, I still kind of want to, like, say what happened, because it was kind of crazy. I don't think I would have been as batshit crazy as I did if I wasn't like, rah, 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 rah. So, like, if there's anything about murder, she's like, no, I won't even watch it. I'm like, ooh. That's my sneaky side to it. So, fetal alcohol syndrome, basically, all it says is, I'm going to read it straight from it. The condition results from alcohol exposure before birth. Causes lifelong problems with behavior, learning, and thinking. This is what it shows, like, for the picture of the child, you see. And it gives, like, reasons and things, but I emphasized the one child that I knew who had, that her biggest problem was the behavior. And I said it wrong. I don't like the way I said it. I watched it and I said, shit, man, I am even, like, offending myself when I'm watching this. I'm like, what do you know about fetal, so I gotta come with the deets. Really, I do when it comes to this. It's serious. So it says abnormal feature. Okay, first of all, symptoms that infants with, don't make me say it again, please, syndrome could experience: abnormal facial features, including a smooth ridge between the nose and upper lip, a thin upper lip and small eyes, low body weight, short height, sleep and sucking difficulties, small head size, vision problems. What does what affect cognitive and behavioral impairments, as well as secondary disabilities, including medical, educational, mental health, social challenges. These are all with the stigma of the disorder. So I guess that's what I'm trying to say when I look at that boy Chad, which is weird that he's like, when I grew up, the name Chad kind of meant like how the Menendezes were. Like, it kind of meant like you're up or like, woo, you know, I'm Chad, you know. The Chad. So, like, when I see Chad, I could see, woo, with my third and fourth and fifth, I see the physical, for one. The fact that he chased those boys down the way he did, kind of like, I'm doing that, like, y'all better run, you know, like, you get like that when you've been pushed down a lot. You get like, I'm going to do this. Those kids couldn't have been smaller to run. I mean, seriously, they're young. What the hell? You're really going to do that to them? And, you know, they kept back emphasizing that he's a stepfather, he's a stepfather, he's a stepfather. But they weren't really getting, like, are they his kids? He's a stepfather because there's a daughter, but were those his sons? And I'd like keep asking him. No answers on that one. I've asked it a couple different ways, and I've even watched a couple videos on him. I can't even try to even say that name. You know I can't. Chad Doerman. Doerman. What if I just said it like that? Doerman. So, first, cognitive and behavioral impairments. To say secondary disabilities and medical, well, educational, mental, social. Kind of all seems like the same thing, though. I see how they break it down, which is kind of cool, but they call it FAS. The results of a life expectancy at birth of people with FAS is 34 years, 31 to 37, which is significantly lower than 42% the general population, 70 years for men, 83 for women. It seems odd of a question and an answer. I wouldn't have known that. It says, I'm asking, what are the symptoms in FAS in adults? Trouble learning, memory, and attention span. That guy, Chad, is giving me these things. I'm seeing this with him. If he had trouble learning, and what they call it when I was in school, DL, I don't remember, but a disabled learning. Already, now you got that going on. You can't remember anything. If a woman didn't pay enough attention when she was pregnant with you to care about you then, what makes you think she's going to care about him when he starts walking around and asking for stuff? She's too busy being drunk. She's too busy doing this and doing that. That's just what... when a child has this kind, I'm not a doctor. I play one on YouTube. I'm not a doctor, obviously. I'm not a professional in any fashion. This is my fucking opinion. But I think when these kids have these disorders of any kind, and somebody that's their parent is already impaired in their own way, this woman didn't just start drinking out of nowhere. Something happened to her for sure. The part of being a mom that's the most important is it's not about you anymore. Now it's about these people. You got to focus on these kids. It's no longer about you. I know I drank my kids' whole life, but they never knew it. But the times that I did, oh my God, like something happened, something broke loose. It's under 5 times. Every time. But I would drink so much when I wasn't with them, which also caused a problem. But I'm not saying I'm better than these people. I'm saying I see it. Yes, I am saying I'm better because I didn't kill anybody. So yeah, I am a little better than that. I could understand on one hand and the other. That's me. So you got different difficulty learning, and that's where I came in with the ADHD. I couldn't remember the words that time. I legitimately shook for a second. I needed to like, woo, calm down. When I see anything with children, I get really bothered. And I had just seen those pictures of their sweet boys on that tire. I'm not saying this is any excuse for this man's fucking decisions that he made. The decisions he made are awful. I'm saying let's see these things. There is a child in every block that's not treated right. Now, when I'm saying look out for the shit before it gets to this. This is somebody's neighbor. This is somebody's nephew. Somebody's grandchild. Somebody's friend from school. Somebody's student. This boy, this man who grew up to shoot 3 beautiful little boys because he's irritated about some bullshit with sports or baseball. Difficulty communicating, understanding language, decoding meaning. So already you got that hyperactivity, impulsivity, and behavioral problems, poor social skills, sometimes usually vision and hearing problems too. My God, is there anything it's not going to affect? When I said, I don't like the way I put this shit in the last video, so I hope to God whoever saw that sees this. I mean no disrespect to anybody with a disability, number one. I'm doing this because I care. I don't want to see somebody get to this point. These are things that we see in everybody. You see it in your neighbors, your cousins. Somebody saw this guy grow up somebody saw this guy grow up to the fact that he cocked a rifle and chased his kids and shot them and killed them and blew his wife's thumb off and let the sweet young teenage girl see her young girl see. I'm not gonna put a number. I get real confused with these things. Sometimes I mess up numbers. I see this. I myself, there's a doctor out there, and they actually see this, the facial features. Let me know if I'm even close. But there's probably been some problems with this man for a long time. And I'll tell you something else. As a drinker myself, I would drink because my mind was like, la, 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 la. Like you see me sober and look at me, I go fast and I do all this now. If I had anxiety and stuff and I had a lot going on, I would drink more. That's like putting fuel on fire. But at the time, it's the only thing it could be like, ooh, 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 slow down. I'm going to sit back and sip on this beer, and I'm going to, ooh, Jack Daniels, whatever. I'm telling you, that you had been programmed to think that's a fix, that's a fucking fun time, party time, now it's good. It's never going to be good. It's never going to get better. But when you have a fucking problem that's not taken care of, addressed, you don't have, I'm not saying even get on medication for something. I'm not saying that. But somebody needs to pay attention and help with the behavior. That's all. I feel like people need attention or need less. Like, you need more, you need less. Because there's something wrong with the behavior. There's families that adopt or have their own children. They fix their shit around. And they have, even if their own child has fetal alcohol syndrome, once they stop the shit, they can say, oh my God, okay, I can fix this. I can do this. I can do this. If you're still in that cuckoo bird lane, you're not paying attention. Now the kid's annoying. Now the kid's on your last fucking nerve. They never shut up. God damn it, I can't with this kid. God, can't he do anything like that? It gets like that with people. I've seen it. Dude, I've tackled somebody because I saw that shit. And I knew what it was about. That's why I was like, woo. But I'm not like... When you see this stuff and it becomes like a tornado of cruelty. And when you're messed up, and I'm going to speak for myself. I'm going to speak in generalities, but I'm still speaking. I didn't do it, but I could have. I could have. I didn't do it. I wanted, like, I thought of it. When you're treated bad, and I think this is why my mom treated me bad, because you want to make somebody else pay. Somebody else can be shit on today. I've been shit on forever. I'm gonna makes you feel better, and so makes a person feel better inside. That's why you get these dumbass comments and shit. That's why. Because they're having a shitty time and they're gonna make your shit shitty, and it makes them smile a little bit, makes them happy. When my mom would do the shit she did to me, like shoving my face in hot food, really giving it to me, that was her being like, yeah! Yeah! You know? Do you think you just drink during pregnancy and act normal after that? No, you don't, and you can't wait for that kid to get out. Damn it, I'm gonna have a good time then. Bitch, what you been doing? It's not gonna get better. What makes you think it's a good time? Because it's alcohol? How's that working out? Told me one time it was good. When was it? Oh, I went to a party, I went here, I went there. What happened when you were there? Either you can remember and you realize it wasn't great, or you just can't remember. Is that person with that mentality really going to treat a child who's getting a little extra any better than, you know what I mean? Like, you got a bunch of kids too. You're not going to be, somebody's acting up. It's easier to sick everybody on that person too. So inside a family, you might have somebody that's a little bit not awesome, and everybody's got to go get them. So that stuff happens too in families. So that kid goes and gets on the bus, now what? You know, like, they didn't, maybe somebody didn't give him a shower, didn't do this, and didn't do his homework, and didn't care, and didn't brush his teeth, and they don't want to deal with them, he's annoying, you know. That kid ends up this guy. It's upsetting to watch him. So if you see it, for God's sake, if you see it, you see this stuff happening, you see the kid go to school, and I keep going back to the unkept shit. That little girl I knew, she wasn't unkept at all. I don't know why I keep going back to that with him. And you know what else is weird? If you watch that video about this man, the first half of it's kind of like, woo, and then somebody shoves the phone off. I wonder if it was the boys. I love them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you didn't do this to you. Sure good kids. You would have been great baseball players too.